All right, so we're at Saturday, day 3, or 4 if you're me already. But we arrived again.
I'm VIP.
Hey, right at opening. But it was like a fucking ghost town. It was really weird. There was hardly anybody here this early on Saturday.
Because the rest of us ain't got that crackhead energy, bro.
Man, if
Where do you find that shit?
I don't know.
In the
So like, yeah, you can mention that. Like, nobody's ever been able to keep up with me at concerts, but my girl Tina, man, like, I can barely keep up with her. It's fucking incredible, dude. It's unreal.
Shout out to
So,
Tina. That's
shout out
pretty
to
fucking
Tina.
cool.
You have stamina. Like, I don't know. Blast. Anyways, Saturday, day 3, we arrived at the opening.
So anyways, I started blasting.
I started blasting.
Nice. Right?
But it was really weird. We went over to the Inferno stage, the ghost town, to check out Hot Box. Crowd was really small, but you wouldn't know it by the energy these dudes had. They played like they were in front of 50,000 people,
Fuck yeah.
and they just fucking crushed it. I got felt like Southern California new metal vibe, and we honestly thought they were like Spanish by the way they were talking. But I looked them up afterwards, and they're from Israel.
It's
Israel.
racist as all.
No, but I mean, like, even like they just sound their accent sounded Spanish. Like when he said "you motherfuckers," it just sounded. It
doesn't sound Spanish at all.
I don't do accents very well.
I'm gonna clip
they
that
ain't
right
white.
there.
If they ain't white, they
No.
got to be Spanish.
I'm gonna
You know
put
what's
that
funny?
so many places. Like
I do.
every time something
I'm not
weird
the one
happens,
who mentioned this.
You
motherfuckers.
Tina's partially Mexican, and she's the one who thought it. So you know what I mean. Anyways, I believe
partially said it all racist.
50%.
Only
Anyway,
Partial, it's fucking half, bro.
only the good part is white.
The lead singer jumped over the rail for a brief crowd surf, which was pretty cool. I was pretty unfamiliar beforehand, but I'd love to see these guys again. Like, if they opened for a Limp Bizkit or some other new metal band, man, they'd fucking crush it, man. Like, I loved them, dude. They were great. They had, all of them had ski masks on. They had to be hot as fuck.
No
dude.
shit.
Even though it was the opening band, I want to say it was like 12 or 12:30 when.
Is that why you thought they were Mexican? Because they were wearing the ski
Right,
mask?
it was
You thought
the
they were
fucking
gonna,
accent.
you thought they were gonna break
It
in
was the
somewhere?
fucking
and steal their
accent.
shit?
Stop trying to cancel me. I'm uncancelable, just like Ronnie and Alex.
That's a nice stereo,
Fuck you.
Holmes.
Bro, I'm telling you, if you would have heard him say, "You motherfuckers," you would have thought the same thing. After that, we went off to see Destroy Boys.
Messed up my dickies, SA.
We went to see Destroy Boys. This was at the Apex stage, and by far the worst pile of shit I seen all weekend.
Ooh, Justin coming hard.
We
Nice.
stayed for one song, and I don't even think we finished the song, and we fucking dipped out. How a band like that ends up on the main stage is beyond me, but holy shit. We went over to the garage stage for a much superior band who needs a lot more love, and that was Afterlife. These guys always bring it live. They sound great. Crowd was big into it. Tons of energy, tons of fun. Fucking love Afterlife live. You've seen them before, right?
I've seen them.
They're good live.
They're good live.
I don't know if I like the recorded music, but live, they're a lot of fucking fun.
There's just something about that band. I don't know what it is, but they get like these hardcore fans that
I can tell you what it is. Why they have hardcore fans.
Tell me.
Because they're so active on social media, so fans feel like they have that personal bond to them.
I think Afterlife is a good band.
Yeah.
They're not a great band.
But
They're
they
not an
sound
excellent
sound
band.
awesome live.
They're not an amazing band.
they're
They're
really
not an original band.
They're really. I agree with everything you said, but they're a really fun band for like an opening act. They're like they get the
I
crowd
agree.
and they get energy.
I agree.
Going. I went over to see Head PE next over at the Vortex stage, the AstroTurf stages. We ended up front and center on the rail for this one. I've honestly never been a Head PE fan. I like Bartender. I don't really like much else that they do. I seen them before. Dennis fucking forced me to go see him with Mushroom Head one time.
Oh,
And I was completely unimpressed, but this was totally fucking different. This was hot as shit, but the crowd came out and these guys just had a really good vibe, man. I fucking loved it. I honestly, like,
how many beatboxes did you drink before
at
this?
this point, dude, I don't think I had any. I really don't think I had any, but like, there was something about that set that was just, they did a lot of the reggae stuff too, but like, they did a lot of their more like new metal songs, and it was really fucking good, man. Like, and I don't like Head PE normally, man, but like I was very impressed this time. They won me over.
So no joke, they by default were like the first metal band I ever seen live.
Yeah.
Because I went to see Korn at the Lakeland Center back when we used to have cool shows here, and Head PE was the opening band. and they were incredible, dude. Back then, like they were amazing. So I've always had a soft spot for Head PE, and I like some of their albums. If I would have made it there early enough, I totally would have checked that show out.
They had such a good vibe, and he had that like keyboard thing that I don't know what it's called, man. I'm not a musician, but he blew into this thing, and it was like connected to the keyboard.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Kind of like a
tune shit.
Yeah, but it was really cool,
I
man.
know you're talking about.
So
Fuck is that? I want to say it's called a recorder, but I don't think it is.
Yeah.
It's not.
Maybe.
Recorder.
It's like that. You get it in fucking grade school.
Yeah.
Or at least
It reminded me of like
fuck.
bagpipes, but it was connected to a
But it's
fucking
got
keyboard
that
instead. Yeah.
auto tune fucking shit.
Yeah, I totally would have checked that out.
Really cool vibe. I'm very glad we went over to
Did
this.
they play "Waiting to Die"?
I couldn't tell you their set list.
I mean, the chorus is "I'm just waiting to die."
I feel like they did, but I don't know. You know, to be honest with you, I know they played Bartender. They played a lot of good stuff, man. It was fun.
Bartender. That one.
No, that's Uncle Cracker or some shit, right?
And
Is that
Bartender,
Uncle Cracker?
and dude,
I
Bartender.
think so.
Rehab or
it's
something.
one of them
Rehab.
shitty-
I think it's Rehab.
Bartender
shit.
reminds me of like Dave Mirra BMX PlayStation game back in the
Oh,
day.
yeah,
I'm like, this is
man.
fucking fun, dude.
You
It's
know
good
what?
vibes.
Like most Head PE songs would fit on one of those games.
they
like
would, man.
Pro Skater. Like,
Yeah.
Mm.
I have a completely different view on this band after that. After
Cool,
that
man.
that show, and it's
That's
like,
cool
after all
because
these
you've
years,
always talked
I've
about
always
them like
hated them,
oh,
man.
yeah.
Like, so it was cool. It was cool to enjoy it after a band that I just generally didn't understand.
So you didn't have any nostalgia for that band, like
Not-
you didn't grow up listening to
no.
Broke or anything. Like,
no,
that's why you didn't like them.
no, but I liked.
By
I
the
liked
time
that.
you were introduced to them, they sucked.
But you know what? That was again like that's like that skater music that you guys have picked up that I never really got into. So like, you know, it was
Yeah.
cool.
all right.
Fire for the Gods was next, same stage, Vortex, and we just sat our asses there and we baked in the sun for a half an hour until they came out, and no fucking regrets. A lot of the crowd actually stuck around, and this ended up being one of the more intense sets of the weekend. Fire from the Gods, yes, you heard that right. There was a literal train of crowd surfers, and hands down, the best security crew I have ever seen at any concert ever was for this set. You'd have a guy there, a security guard, ready to catch the crowd surfer and like catch him right, you know, like cradle the crowd surfer so they're protected, you know, not just grab them and fucking toss them. But they would cradle them, but then they'd also have another security guard behind them. So when they caught him, that weight transfer didn't fucking throw him backwards. And then that guy got down with the crowd surfer, and the crowd surfer, or the security guard that was behind him, hopped up right in his spot, and another one got right behind him and protected him. Because it was a fucking train over and over and over, and that's exactly what I said. They were a well-oiled machine.
Okay.
Fire from the Gods were absolutely fucking incredible. They covered Guerrilla Radio, which was
That was nice.
intense, man. That place went nuts. They also called out the Cogs of War, in particular, Mr. fucking Billy.
Midnight Mosher,
the
baby.
Midnight Mosher. He said he's seen him for years and years and years crowd surfing. Absolutely right.
Dude, I was happy on Billy's behalf when I heard that.
During that set too, after he said that, what's the lead singer's name from Fire from the Gods? I can't think of it right now. AJ. AJ got up and down there with the crowd. He didn't crowd surf, but he was standing right there with the crowd on the barricade. And Billy went to fucking crowd surf, and he got right up there to AJ, and they had a little dap together. It's pretty fucking
Cross right
cool,
past
man.
him.
Like,
Yeah, that was cool.
if anybody has footage of that, Billy's looking for it, by the way, because he really appreciates that.
I
Shout out,
definitely
so,
saw it, and I
know.
I told Amy, I was like, this has got to be such a cool moment for him.
Yeah, like
He got shouted out, and then he just,
yeah.
yeah.
Billy's a local legend. If you guys aren't familiar, in
Shout
Central
out to
Florida,
the
like,
crowd though that
yeah.
helped push him over there
yeah,
because they got him right into the path.
they
and that
got
was-
him right because
That
none
was
of
an
the other crowd,
intentional thing. Like,
none of the other crowd surfers went that way. They actually went. Most of them, I think, went right above where we were, which was fine. You know, I don't give a shit about crowd surfers. That's fine. You know, it's part of the show, especially when you're up front. But
hey, shout out to whoever had AJ's nuts in your face the whole time because that dude's tall as fuck,
yeah,
and the way he was standing, his balls were right in somebody's face.
I got some really cool pictures of AJ up there just fucking having a blast, man. It was absolutely hot as fuck when we left there. Like over there at the Apex and Inferno stages, or not Apex, it was Inferno and Vortex stages. They had somebody spraying like a water hose down. We went and had some in the water hose for a little bit to cool down, man.
So Captain,
You shake your head no, man, but like, dude, like,
oh well, yeah,
it's like,
well he's not gonna get it. Doesn't matter what you tell him.
yeah, I mean, it felt great. I
That's
was
not
actually,
his thing.
it actually cooled me down so much that I was cold leaving that set. So good shit.
Captain
you came in
Buzzkill over here. I love Fire from the Gods. I think they put on a great show live. sometimes AJ's crowd participation takes away from his actual performance. And a lot of the vocals don't sound good live. He misses a lot of stuff, and he relies heavily on the crowd participation, which annoys the shit out of me.
Maybe I didn't care because I was part.
No,
of it.
I enjoyed the show. Don't get me wrong. I'll always see that band any chance I get. But we're here to also be critics of things, and that was my takeaway from it. Is like, man, I wish you could nail all these parts live.
Fair enough.
But hey, if I was one of them people down there with AJ's nuts in my face, I might be like, AJ's nuts in my face. I don't care what it sounds like.
Man, and they played, like I said, they played guerrilla radio. We're not going to get Rage Against the Machine, so we got to hear bands cover
Bro.
now, so.
I got to say, too, shout out to them because nobody fucking covers guerrilla radio.
That shit was
Every
awesome.
single person does Killing in the Name.
Yeah.
Like, they picked a different song, and that
Yep.
was cool as
It
shit
was
to
fun.
hear.
It was
Because
so
that's
fun.
the first time I've ever heard anyone cover that song.
Awesome.
And they did a good fucking job, and he did nail the vocals on
Yeah.
that. That was fun, man.
What'd you go to after Fire from? Because that's when you entered, was Fire from the Gods.
Yeah, I think
so,
we caught up with you at the end of that set, I believe.
briefly, yeah.
Right? And then
Very briefly, I think we all caught up together, and then me and Tina ran in the water, and you guys ran off. Oh, we did.
we caught back up.
We caught back up.
We saw
Yeah,
some of
yeah.
Stick to Your Guns together, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we went over to the garage stage, a little stage.
We actually hung out for a little while after this point.
Briefly, yes, you're correct. This is the most we hung out all weekend, is right
Probably, yeah.
through this period. Stick to Your Guns sounded good, but we only stayed for a few songs. I think we got separated briefly during Stick to Your Guns because then we met back up at Stone Temple Pilots right after. So
Yeah. So then we went to Stone Temple Pilots.
which over at Octane again, shitty fucking sound, and we had that up and down vocal going on.
We got to hear Timu Scott Weiland, as Kevin and Dennis called him.
He has all the mannerisms, and he sounds just like him for the most part. Man, I'll tell you, like,
Cameras froze.
Yeah.
they seem to sound good otherwise, but those audio levels going up and down, it just fucking it ruined it,
dude,
man.
They're great. I saw them at Rockville a few years back.
Well, you're a big
and-
STP fan. You've seen them a lot, so
Yeah, and I would be the first to criticize like if he was not doing it justice.
I think he was.
The
It was just
sound,
the audio
sound over
man,
there
like-
wasn't great. Jeff
remember-
Gutt is a killer replacement for Scott Weiland. Like
And
he's awesome, dude.
I remember asking you about that in the middle of the set. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, it just sounds so terrible, but like, I don't think it's his
yeah,
fault.
I
you know?
think unfortunately it probably gave a lot of people the impression that like he wasn't as good as
Yeah.
he is.
Mm.
No, that guy, he nails it, man. Like he fucking nails it.
Highlight of this set though, we got our group picture with all of us together.
Finally, yeah.
You know, it was hard to get. So when you're at Rockville, if nobody's ever been, like, there's not much phone reception. Like you have phone reception till about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and then you don't have it the rest of the day, and it's almost impossible to communicate with your friends there. So like, to get all of us together, or pretty much all of us, it was all of your crew, the rest of my crew, like Brandon and Tesh weren't there, but almost everybody was there. So it was pretty cool to
I
get
mean, I
us all
thought my
together.
crew was our crew, but okay.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. The crew I literally rode with every day.
I know.
Not all of them were there.
The crew you ride or die for. Yeah, I got it.
Shut up. I've been with you guys forever.
But no,
Our crew is just expanded.
for real though, then when you get somebody like Justin, he's like, hey, I'm gonna be like to the left front of every show. And then he goes to the center front of every show and you never find
So
him.
it wasn't always my fault. You know, I stuck with Tina a lot of the
Look,
times,
man,
and she's a badass dude. Like,
man,
she,
you guys are having a good fucking time. I just like teasing you about it.
Yeah, I
but-
know. I know.
No, it was great, man, because it's super hard to get that size group all together.
There's what nine of us, I think, in the
yeah.
picture, because you had Casey's sister too.
And we
so-
were almost never all in the same place at the
Yeah.
same time. Like I would find Dennis and Jess, and we couldn't find Kevin and Casey. And then
Yeah,
we'd
same.
find Kevin and Casey, but we couldn't find Dennis and
I'd
Jess.
always run into like at
and
least
then
a
I would only
duo.
see you when I went up to the pit, and you
Yeah.
know, it was so yeah, that was cool, man.
Yeah, but it was cool to get us all together. So, did you guys go to a Day to Remember after that?
Fuck yeah, we
So
did.
did we. Yeah, we pushed up really close for this one. This is
Did you look at me with disapproval?
This is the only band that sounded good at Octane for me. If you're familiar, you know how crazy their shows are. Crowd surfing on crowd
They
surfers.
weren't in Octane though.
Yes,
were they?
Stop it. Yes, they were.
Oh, they were. No, I wasn't being
Yeah.
serious. I thought
Yeah.
I didn't.
They-
I
they
didn't
were at
think
the
it was
Octane
Octane
station,
because they
because
sound good.
I remember looking back when I watched like Orgy, and I was like, what bands are we going to see at Octane that I'm like worried about? And there wasn't very many of them, but I was like, fuck, a Day to Remember's over there. And it's one of the bands I'm really looking forward to. I was like, I hope they push through this. And they did. They sounded fucking great at Octane. They, crowd surfing on crowd surfers, massive pits, toilet paper, beach balls, confetti, unmatched energy. These guys are incredible live.
There was a guy that fucking crowd surfed
he did a trust fall.
in a fucking no, not the trust fall guy.
Yeah.
There was a guy in a fucking like inner tube, like a fucking a blow up raft, like that you sit
I remember
in.
him too. Yeah,
And he
I remember
got
him
up
all
there,
weekend coming back and forth.
and
though.
he held it strong, dude. Like he never fell out. I was
Yeah.
impressed.
but the
Yeah,
trust,
man,
the
Dan
trust fall guy
remember,
was crazy.
Always great live.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like I made a bad call during this show. We were 2, maybe 3 songs in, and they said, "I want to see the biggest circle pit that we've seen the
So were
whole
you
weekend."
separated? Mm.
And so I handed my sunglasses to Amy, and I was like, "I'll be back." I never made it back. I
You
had
always
been
got to go
drinking.
back.
I had been drinking beat boxes,
Yeah, they're
and
strong as fuck. Just if you guys don't know, beatbox will fuck your ass
and
up.
I thought I was way closer to the pit than what I was. Dude, I had to go through fucking several walls of people,
Yeah.
and they were not happy that I was there pushing through.
Mm.
And I finally made it to that circle pit, and it was like 4 deep,
It was
like-
insane.
like 4 people wide, like going in a circle.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the dude in front of me tripped, and then I fell right in front of him. And I had to. There was nowhere for me to go. And this whole giant circle pit just came to a screeching halt. It looked like the fucking elephants in the Jungle Book.
Which is
When the
amazing.
one in the front, like, fucking
Can-
slammed on the brakes.
Can we shout out all these pit teams, man, that like kept everybody for the most part safe? Like when somebody fell, like the pits fucking stopped, man.
Oh, yes. And this was not an easy
know?
thing to do. Like, this was a fucking round. Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
know
man.
I know the Cogs were there. I know the was it Midnight Mosh Sessions team was there. I know there was another pit team there. I can't remember their name, but like. So Jason, did you check out anybody else after Day to Remember, or did you go straight to Foo Fighters?
Oh, no, man. We went to Code Orange.
Code Orange.
And
Okay.
I do not regret it. Like, if you missed this show,
I did miss it.
you missed one of the best shows of the weekend.
Oh,
no,
did I?
No doubt, for real.
I'm sorry.
These guys, I know that they've taken their music in a little bit more of a more accessible direction, but they have not lost their hardcore energy. Like when you see them live, these guys go hard as fuck, man. And they were
Do you
over
think?
there on the garage stage where all the fucking hardcore bands were. But Jamie Morgan is nuts on the stage, dude. He ended up in
Is
the
he?
crowd too. Very tight band live. All the songs super well executed. And the only thing that I noticed, like if I have to criticize anything on the new album, like Jamie sings a lot more than he typically did. And he, I'm guessing, can't pull that off live because they leaned on Reba.
what
to do a
stage were
lot
they
of
on?
that. They're on the garage stage.
Oh, so that stage sounded good. So there's no excuse for that. He should have did it.
Yeah, I just don't think that's his thing.
Yeah,
Like
no.
maybe that was what sounded better in the studio was the male voice, but Reba sang all that stuff live. And maybe it's because he wanted to jump around and go nuts and get in the crowd and shit. But that was a great fucking show, dude. And they had a decent sized crowd. It wasn't huge. I felt bad for them because they were playing during some big acts. Like they were up against Clutch and Queens of the Stone Age. So
Bands
like
suck.
that's tough. Like
What?
I'm just fucking with you, Bobby.
yeah. So imagine like you're this little up and coming hardcore alternative metal
Up and
band.
coming. They've been around for like a decade or
Yeah,
more.
but they're just starting to really break
Ugh.
through.
I guess.
And they're up against Queens of the Stone Age and Clutch.
Mm.
Like you got your work cut out for you. So
Yeah.
they were super thankful for the people that were over there. Cool to see them. Like they had to back out of Shiprocked. I was super bummed. Finally got to see them. I've seen them twice before, but I really wanted to see them on this album cycle because I really like the new album. So good stuff.
Hmm.
Good stuff.
Did you go to Foo Fighters after, or did you check out Greta Van?
No, I would never check out Greta, man.
So I checked out Greta Van Fleet because we got food before Foo Fighters. We were just kind of over there.
Led Zeppelin.
They were at the
Jr.
Yep, they were at the.
Nobody saw Clutch.
Nobody saw
Sorry,
Clutch.
brother.
Greta was over at the Apex stage, and we were just getting ready for Foo
Or
Fighters.
Queen. I didn't see Queens either.
I've seen him. I've seen him on the.
I've seen them
the
before
good-
too. That's why I chose to go see something new. I mean, Queens is they're fucking good.
Yeah.
We do their thing.
We caught probably half of Greta's set while we ate. They sounded really good. Classic
No.
rock vibes, Led Zeppelin, great for a festival. They put on an absolute hell of a show. These guys honestly could probably headline eventually, man. Like they're really fucking good. Like I'm not super familiar with them, but I was very impressed with the little bit we seen.
I do agree that they sound amazing because I've seen them at a previous Rockville a little bit, and they're incredible. I don't like what they're doing. Like I don't know, it's just not super original. They would probably draw a bigger crowd if they just became a Led Zeppelin cover band.
I mean, maybe.
Can you imagine like what that would like?
They
Dude,
would sound good.
They would nail it.
They would fucking nail it. Like they are. I was impressed, man. Like I'd be down for seeing them again. I'm not gonna go out of my way to see them, but like if they pop up again, I'll check them out.
Yeah, man.
Especially at a festival. So Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters is next. I don't know the exact numbers, but I seen aerial shots.
More than 2.
I seen aerial shots from when they played, and it looked like the biggest crowd of the weekend. It went.
I would imagine
it went way past the Ferris wheel, just absolutely packed in. We were pretty close, stage left for 2 hours of Foo Fighters.
Same.
And they showed exactly why they are such a massive band. The sound quality was amazing, but the best part was just watching how much fun Dave Grohl was having the whole time. Man, you couldn't knock the smile off of his face if you tried, man. He was having an absolute blast up there. The crowd threw up the X's at one point, so the show was stopped, and he played fucking Stairway to Heaven. Ironically, as later we found out, if you go on the Rockvillians Facebook groups, that I guess people were getting pepper sprayed or something.
Yeah,
and that's why they stopped the show.
So he's like, you guys left me no choice. Like, there's a problem in the crowd, so I'm just gonna play Stairway to Heaven until it fucking.
Dude, he got to like the second verse, and he's like, I've never got this far. So like, you know what I mean? Like, but it was still cool, you know. He's just having fun up there, not trying to make light of this situation, keep the crowd into it. We also got a Dave Grohl solo as he played Eruption, or so we kind of thought. It was actually Wolfgang backstage playing it, and that was cool because they showed it was Wolfgang.
Funny as shit, man.
You know what I mean?
At one point, Dave just throws his hands up in the air,
and his solo still playing.
And then they cut over to
Wolfgang. Fucking Wolfgang, because Wolfgang played just a little bit earlier in the night. I think we both missed it. So,
but man,
it was just an amazing set, man. They opened with incredible energy. They opened with All My Life, which got the crowd going right away. They closed with Everlong. It was 2 hours of just like.
It was actually a little over 2 hours.
These guys
they played all the way up till midnight.
These guys fucking just, man, they're so good live.
It's a difference. This is the difference between them and a band like Limp Bizkit. So Limp Bizkit,
I'll agree with that.
Limp Bizkit gave us the minimum amount of songs. Dave Grohl came out right from the start, and he's like, we're going to play you as many fucking songs as we can fit into this 2 hour window. And they delivered on the promise.
He's just chewing bubblegum and kicking ass the whole time, man. Like he was just.
And that's why the Foo Fighters are the highlight of the whole fucking weekend.
The whole weekend for you?
The whole weekend.
Man.
Bro,
shit.
This is my second time seeing one of these long-ass epic Foo Fighter shows. I seen them at Rockville before, play for 2.5 hours. God damn. Dave Grohl is the biggest rock star of our generation, for sure.
Amazing, dude.
He's our Mick Jagger. This is our Rolling Stones. Like, these dudes have worked hard to get where they're at, and they go up there.
Like Mick's like, I'm still alive, you fucking bastards.
Yeah. Man, dude, like, I would probably argue with you if I wouldn't have seen him live this time. But, like, it was just
incredible, man. And I get it. Like, tomorrow night's headliners got a little bit of something for them. But, man.
I'll tell you this, though.
You get your money's worth. Like, if you're somebody that didn't see Foo Fighters at a festival and you paid the big bucks to go see them headline, I feel like you left there fulfilled.
Yeah.
They're going to play every fucking hit song.
Yeah.
They're going to play some deep cuts. They're going to play some covers. They're going to have some fun in between. They're going to make jokes. They packed all of that shit into one performance. Fucking last time I seen them at Rockville, they brought John Travolta on the stage. Shit's crazy, dude.
Okay.
Foo Fighters is the shit. Like, I'll never miss an opportunity to see these guys live.
They're really good.
Yeah.
So this was supposed to be our chill day to recover and relax. Ended up pretty intense at times with Fire from the Gods, Head PE, other bands.
So what was the best for you?
A lot of unexpectedly good performances, but for me, as good as Foo Fighters was, man, I still had so much more fun. A Day to Remember. A Day to Remember is the highlight of the day for me. Like, A Day to Remember is a band that I first seen at Rockville a few years ago, and I wasn't familiar with them. I was like, why the fuck are they one of the headline bands now? Like, I remember, like, somebody dropped out. I think it was Motorhead, and A Day to Remember replaced them last minute. I went to check them out, and I was blown away. But I didn't like their, like, music recorded. I fucking hated it. And I actually did not like their music recorded until just last year, and it finally clicked for me. So this is the first time I went in as like a fan of the band,
Yeah.
and it just kind of hit different, man. Like I don't know, man. Like, Day to Remember was my highlight of the day.
So no joke, like several years prior to that, we didn't know anything about Day to Remember, hadn't ever heard any of their music, and we saw them at Rockville,
Yeah,
and we thought they were great, and we checked out the music,
it's
and
just
that's
a
how we
vibe,
became
man.
a fan.
It's
Sometimes seeing the band live changes everything. Like Knock Loose currently is
Mhm.
one of my favorite bands.
Yep.
I hated those guys. I thought it was terrible, and then I saw it live, and I was like, I get what you're doing now,
yeah,
and I like
Arf,
this, and I
arf.
can support this. So yeah, man, that's cool as fuck.
yeah.
For me, it's definitely Foo Fighters, hands
And
down.
I don't argue with you because
Dude, I went into the weekend knowing that it was gonna be Foo Fighters.
Amazing band live.
I don't
man.
have a
Like,
worst band on Saturday. I liked all the bands I saw.
my worst band was Destroy Boys.
If I had to pick a worst, it's Fire from the Gods, just because you know there
Just
were some misses in the
stop
vocal
it.
performance. I'm just saying,
Destroy Boys was the worst band of the weekend. They're fucking terrible.
I'll give you that. But did you see Taproot? Because I heard they were pretty terrible
So
too.
what I heard, so I seen a video of that too. Like, the Taproot lead singer, whose name I don't remember right now,
Steven Richards.
He got into the mosh pit with the microphone, and he's trying to sing, and the fucking mic keeps going out. And he eventually just throws it at the stage, and he opens up the pit.
So
It was technical issues. Were they at Octane?
It could be. I don't know.
If they were at Octane, it makes a lot of sense, man. Like, I'll give Taproot a pass on that because, like, I've heard they're good live, and I've seen that video, and it's like he seemed frustrated, and then he just like said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna open up the pit. I don't give a shit what this fucking mic's doing." You know what I mean?
Well, look, man, I didn't see Destroy Boys, but if you feel that passionate, hey, fuck you, Destroy Boys. You
were
guys suck.
terrible. God,
Who
they were
let you on
so
a Danny Wimmer
bad.
festival? Fuck.
And on the main stage, they were on the fucking Apex stage. Like, why? Like, they're so
Boo.
You
bad.
boys destroyed, and not in a good
They were
way.
girls, by the way. All girls. They were terrible.